Shalom. This is your brother Karath coming at you again with another lesson, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to entitle this lesson, Be as Pilgrims on the Earth. I'm going to start in Hebrews 11 and 13. It reads, these all died in faith. And when it's saying these, it was going down a list of influential and people that did very, very remarkable things in the scriptures. From Abel to Enoch to Noah to Abraham. But let me continue on. Verse 13, it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And let me go to verse 15. It says, and truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned, to have gone back to that country. And it says, but now they desire a better country that is an heavenly, wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city. So that country that they're seeking, man, it's a heavenly place. It's a heavenly country. So when they were confessing to be pilgrims on the earth, and when you're a pilgrim, is basically you don't have a place to call home. You're living among everyone else, but this isn't really your home or your residence. You're just basically you're sojourning in this place, and let me go to 1 Peter just to give it a little bit more context. This is the book of 1 Peter. This is 2 and 1. It says, or Salakia, 1 Peter 2 and 11. It says, dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul. So he's saying, I beseech you as pilgrims. And when you go into that word pilgrims, it's a metaphor in reference to heaven. The kingdom as the native country. The kingdom of heaven is your native country. And so you're one who just sojourns or travels on earth. You're like a transitory person. You're in transit. You know what I mean? In a spiritual sense, so you're so basically being a pilgrim is just like basically a metaphor in a reference to heaven. Let me go to 2nd Esdras. This is 2nd Esdras 16. And verse 40. It reads, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And it says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. So basically, you're not supposed to put too much stock in the stuff that you have, man, because this is a temporary thing. And says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath not profited by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein, or he that soweth as if he should not reap, also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits. So basically, when you're a pilgrim, man, you're just saying this is temporary. This isn't something that's going to completely last. This is a very temporary state. And it says, that's why it's saying, oh, my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, because things, as we're approaching like the end of this thing, man, things are going to get kind of, things are going to turn up. Things are going to get more intense. And it says, even as those evils be, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So you prepare your mind to get your mind in a kingdom state of mind, because this is not your rest. This is not your home country. So according to those precepts so far, being a pilgrim on the earth doesn't strictly mean, running around, living from pillar to post. It's like a mindset. You're getting yourself ready mentally, From there, I want to go to Micah. Micah. This is Micah 2. This is Micah 2 and verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart from this, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction." And that's right, man. You can't think that this is supposed to be a place that you're gonna remain, forever. This place is polluted. There's all kinds of nonsense going on here. This place the scripture says the sins of this place has reached the heavens, man. Like it's everything that you want to get into that's wicked. You can basically partake in that here in America. Everything that's wicked. But in that same breath, in that same token, you're not supposed to just literally, pack up and try to leave and go somewhere else. Like the guy Ben Israel. He basically went and packed up and took a bunch of people, and they went to Israel and made Israel their home country. He's trying to take Yahweh's glory, man. Yahweh said he's going to put us in our own land. So you're not supposed to be, not that sense of a pilgrim. You just uproot yourself and go somewhere else. But let me go here real quick. This is John 15 and 19. Okay. This is John 15, verse 19. It reads, it says, "If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." And that's why we're misfits here, man. And we have no place to belong except the kingdom. We're misfits if you really think about it. And ever since we decided, ever since the spirit made up the spirit it made up our mind for us, that we're that this is our, this is the truth. We were basically we were marked as misfits, man, because we were going to continue in this thing and fall in love with this thing. Now we're not loved by the world, because we were chosen out of the world. Now we're misfits, and we're like pilgrims now. When our home country is the kingdom now. That's our native country. But since, but we're not supposed to just up, and leave and go to a specific location and leave. But, according to Psalms 91 and 1, we that, let me go there. Matter of fact, this is Psalms 91. This is Psalms 91 and verse 1. It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." And that's where you dwell, man. Pilgrims looking for a place to dwell. That's where you go when you dwell, the secret place of the Most High. Because he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. There's protection there. That's where you go. Salakia. That's where you go. That's the secret place. That's where you're supposed to go. That's where you go hide. And from there, let's go to Psalms 91 and verse 7. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Because that secret place, that's what it does when you go to that secret place of the Most High, man. And that's, when you don't have to go and hide anywhere else. That's where you're hiding. The protection is where the Most High, wherever you go, that is your protection, because the Most High is supping with you. You don't have to go to a specific location and go and, try to hide somewhere. Let me continue on. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And, so the hiding place is actually, Salakia for that. So that, where was I? So the hiding place and the dwelling place for the pilgrim is that secret place of Yahweh. That's the hiding place. Let me go to Psalms 143. Let me see. Psalms 143, verse 9. It says, Salakia. Psalms 143 and verse 9, it reads, "Deliver me, O Lord, from mine enemies. I flee unto thee to hide me." That secret place is, where we flee to Yahweh, man. It says that his name is a strong tower. We flee to him and his name. That's where you go to hide. Deliver me, O Lord, from my enemies. I flee unto thee to hide me. You see that? And let me grab this too, man. This is Luke. Let me go here real quick. This is Luke. Let's see, Luke 4. That's Luke 4 and 29 reads, Salat. You know what? I may read up a little bit. I think I'm going to start at verse. I'm going to start at verse 24. This is Luke 4 and verse 24. It reads, "And he said, Verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel the days of Elias, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Elias sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. And many lepers were in Israel in the time of Eliseus and Eliseus the prophet, and none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian. And all they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath, and rose up and thrust him out of the city, and led him unto the brow of the hill whereon their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong. But he, passing through the midst of them, went his way." And how could you pass through a violent mob unless you had some type of spiritual power, and the Most High was, delivered him from the hands of his enemies, man. He basically hid him in plain sight, man. Yahweh Shai was being hid in plain sight. And if you go to Matthew 2 and 13, I won't go there, you can go there for your own, in your own time. But the angel of the Lord appeared unto to Joseph in a dream, and he basically told him to go and hide Yahweh Shai when he was a baby, man. So, the hiding place is, wherever the Most High, wherever you are, that's the hiding place. The Most High tells you to do a thing, or, wherever you are is the hiding place. There's no specific place, you know. From there, I want to go to Hebrews. Let's see here. Hebrews 11. This is Hebrews 11 and verse 13. It reads, "These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen Salakia." Bear with me for a second, please. Salat. Salat. I wanted to go here just to make a comparison real quick. This is Hebrews 11 and 13. It says, "These all died in faith, not having," I actually read this, but I'd like to read it again just to make the comparison. "These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly, wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city." And then that city, if you go to Second Esdras, that country and that city that's being referenced there is actually here in Second Esdras. Let me see. Second Esdras 8 and verse 52 says, it says, slot. Second Esdras 8 verse 52. It reads, "For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom." And this city that's being spoken of is actually the kingdom, man. It says a city is builded, and plenteousness is made ready, and the city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. And that's your rest. That's the place of rest that says, "Arise and depart, for this is not your rest." This is actually your rest. That city that's being referenced in Second Esdras 8 and 52. And actually from there, I want to go to Second Esdras 7. Second Esdras 7 reads, let's see here, Second Esdras 7. It says, Second Ezra 7 and verse 6, "There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. With the entrance thereof is narrow. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water." And there again is referencing that city. We're sojourning in this place of peril, man. We're in this valley of the shadow of death, and we're sojourning here, and we're actually trying to get to that city, man, that country, that's being referenced in Second Ezra 7 and Second Ezra 8. From there, I want to go to Psalms. Let's see here, Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 5 and verse 11. It reads, But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. And that's beautiful, man, because it's actually, you know what? I want to read the verse 12. It says, for thou, Lord, wilt bless the righteous with favor, wilt thou compass him as with a shield. So that's your protection, man. That's where you dwell, and that's your protection. He will compass him as with a shield. So you don't have to run, bug out, and go to somewhere for protection, unless, the spirit, an angel or something like that is dealing with you, and tells you to do something like that. And, and you're basically, you're instructed by some type of spiritual help on the right hand side, then that's different. But other than that, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is our protection and our shield, man. Let me go to Psalms 57. This is Psalms 57 in verse 1. It reads, be merciful unto me, O Yahweh, be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. That's right, man. He'll make refuge. When you'll make refuge. It says, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. And we know we coming up on some perilous times, man. In Yahweh, in his name, and we trust in him through faith. We will run to him, and then he, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, will protect us until the calamities be overpassed. From there, I want to go to Psalms 138. This is Psalms 138 and verse 7. It reads, though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. Though, Salakia, thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. And that right hand, we know that's Yahweh Shai. But it says, though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. And it says, walk in the midst of trouble. When you're walking in the midst of trouble, that's distress and straits. And it says thou wilt revive. And when it's talking about reviving, it's talking about remaining alive or sustaining the life of a person, man. So it says, though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. So I walk in the midst of distress and straits, you'll make sure I'm alive and I'm sustained. And so wherever I am is basically the safety. It's not a specific location. And I think I want to end with Psalms 34. This is Psalms 34. This is Psalms 34, verse 7. It reads, the angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So the angel of the Lord encamps around about those that fear the Lord. So you don't have to go to a specific location, man. But we are sojourning through this place in order to reach the kingdom, So I pray that this was edifying to those that were meant to receive it. Until next time, Shalom.